Hi, welcome to DNet Business Suite video series. My name is Attila Mate from NAN21, and in this video I'm going to show you a little bit about access rights in DNet. There are two different two different strategies to set up access rights, and let's see. First, go to System Client, and there is an attribute default data source access rule, which has two options: allow and deny. The deny, setting this property to deny, it means that any user will have no access by default and cannot access anything from the application. In order to be able to perform certain actions, he will need some permissions to execute certain actions. Those permissions are given through the roles, access rights assigned to roles and roles assigned to users. The other option, default rule, is allow. It says that basically every user has access everywhere, and to restrict some access to certain functions, you will need to cumulatively add restrictions, restrictions assigned to roles and roles assigned to users. It's a little bit of reverse thinking in here. We'll see immediately how. Okay, let's choose the first one, deny. This is most obvious for most of you, and let's see how it works. So let's create a role and a user. By default there is only one role, the administrator. Let's create one more role. Let's say HR manager role, code HR manager, activate, save. Create a new user. By default there is only one user, the administrator. We will create one more. Let's say Joe Smith. Joe Smith, this is the code, is username to connect with. Activate, save. By default any new user is created with password 1234. When he connects first time, he has the option to change his password. Okay, let's assign Mr. Smith the HR manager role and connect with his account. Joe Smith, password 1234, the same client sys. Normally he would come here and say change password, but we will not do it right now. And sorry, in this moment let's see what he can do. Well, he cannot do much. Actually, he is not able to do anything. Everything is forbidden. You are not authorized to perform this action. Why? Because default rule is deny, and there is no access right, no permission has given to any of his roles. Let's add for country on data source country for his role. Let's say query allowed. So he should be able HR manager query allowed. Sorry, what's going on? Role. This is wrong. Not the country LOV, but the country. Okay, that is the data source for the country LOVs, country combo boxes. Okay, so he can see the data. He wants to change something. It doesn't have access. Let's grant him access. Update allowed. Save. And he's able to save, as you can see, modified by Joe Smith. Okay, and exactly the same applies to all the data sources. If we come here to let's check this one. Let's query for Romania. You can see the authorize action pops up because when this dialog tries to load the children, its details, specifically the regions, the server responds that, hey, you are not allowed to do this. So region HR manager query allowed, yes, save, and you can see the regions. Okay, and so on. Now, so on for all the data sources. And now let's see the other option when default access is allow. Save changes. This is a little bit different, requires a little reverse thinking, and you will see why. In the first case, we create roles, very natural ones, like HR manager, HR staff, sales agent, delivery agent, and so on, and assign permissions, cumulatively give permissions to the user through his roles. Now we have to think a little bit different. So our roles will not be sales agent and so on, would be restrictive group. Let's say geographical data read only role. Geo read only, activate and save it, and we create roles which cumulate restrictions. Okay, let's go back to our user, Mr. Smith, remove his roles and assign the new role. Save, and right now we have to check what he can do. Well, to propagate the new changes, we have changed an attribute at client level, we have changed his roles, so he has to log out and log in again. Joe Smith 1234 sys, and basically right now he should be able to do anything everywhere. Countries, load, save, open currencies, load, save, and so on. To restrict his permissions, let's go back and say, let's remove these two. Okay, and say on data source country, geo read only, query allowed is yes. is allowed to query data, but he's not allowed to insert, update, delete. Okay, let's add one more for region for the same geo role. And now we have set up a restrictive role named geoRead-only, which allows query on these two data controls, but do not allow insert, update, delete, and so on. Let's see, on data control countries, he can read the values, but he's not authorized to save. Country with details. Sorry. Let's query for Romania, and he can see this, but cannot save. Okay, maybe we want to say, hey, he cannot even query the regions. Then this would say not authorized to do even this action. So to briefly summarize, we have seen that there are two available strategies: deny, by default deny, and then add permissions and cumulate permissions through the roles. The other one is default allow, which says by default everything is allowed, and if you want to restrict permissions, then you will have to cumulate the restrictions and assign them through roles to the users. There is one more thing which I would like to mention, is this property admin role. It basically specifies which is the administrator role, and users who have this role assigned those users bypass any authorization, so they become power users, super users, or name whatever you want. Very useful for administrative purposes, setting up access rights and do whatever you want throughout the application. Well, that's it for the moment. Thank you very much. Bye bye.